I'm on the Sunshine Coast, north of Brisbane, visiting a collector whose speciality is a plant that unexpectedly thrives here in the subtropics. The camellia, winter-flowering royalty in high demand for its luxuriant blooms. And it's Darryl Baptie who's proven these cultivars can thrive as well in a warm climate as in a cool one. So where do camellias come from?
Jerry, Southeast Asia, particularly China, Japan, into northern Vietnam. All the species and varieties that we talk about go back to those japonicas and sasanquas that have been in existence for thousands of years.
There is a perception that camellias need a cool climate and that they only flower in winter, but you found that not to be the case.
Yes, we've got varieties that suit our climate. Sasanquas start flowering for us in early autumn, so from some start flowering February, March and go through to May, June. The japonicas that do well for us start around about May and go through to the end of August. We like shady spots for these because if they get too much sun, you get this sort of balling effect. The plant just gets sunburnt and the buds fall off. They just won't open properly for you. So we love the cloudy, overcast, misty rain sort of weather because the flowers get hydrated and there's no sun on them to spoil them. So that's when we get our best flowers.
So if I wanted to start growing camellias, where should I begin?
If you've got a shady spot in the garden and you wanted to grow japonicas, then some of the good old-fashioned ones are really good. This one, Emperor of Russia, it's been around for a long time. It's a good, strong bush. It flowers well.
So japonicas to start off with, and position is really vital.
Really important, yes. Another great starter, Jerry, is for sunny positions, the sasanqua camellias. They're just wonderful things, full of flower. Early flowering for us start about early autumn and go through to early winter. Western sun, just great specimens for hedging.
I think these can look as spectacular when they have fallen petals on the ground as they do actually on the bush. They're rather like jacarandas.
They're wonderful, make a wonderful display. Winter is the best time to plant. At that time, the plants are dormant, even though they're flowering, they're dormant. So that's the time to buy them. You can also buy them when they're in flower, so you see what you're getting. They like a well-drained and acid soil, an open potting mix, an open soil. And pruning, you can see this one has been cut back quite hard. You can see the tips there have been pruned. This was pruned to actually take propagation cuttings, but it also gives the plant an opportunity, or gives us a chance to keep the plant to a size and shape. The plant has responded very well, and you can see the new bits of growth already. But the important thing is not to prune after Christmas or thereabouts, because that's when the plant is starting to put on its flowering wood. If you prune that off, then you're going to reduce your flowers for the next season.
Some of your favourite camellias are also quite rare.
Yes, this one here is one of my favourites, Valentine Day variegated. It's just a beautiful, it's a reticulata, quite hard to come by because it's difficult to propagate, but big, blousy flowers, cops a fair bit of sun here, and they're just gorgeous. Coming through the little forest here, Jerry, you'll find one of our favourite species camellias. This one's called Nitidissima. It's one of the yellow flowering species. It's almost finished flowering for this season. Native to southern China, northern Vietnam, likes to be in a shaded area. If it gets too much sun, the leaves get all washed out. A really heavy foliage, but when it gets in flower, it just gets absolutely covered in flower.
The majority of camellias are propagated by cuttings, and that way the new plants are exactly the same as the parent plants. But seed is another way of propagating them. How do you approach that?
Fresh seed is always the best. This is a big seed pot of Crapnelliana. The seeds are quite large. Some of the other seeds can be quite small. I use a specifically designed stick and just crack it sufficiently just to let moisture in and see that the seed's viable. Put that in the top of a pot, just cover it with potting mix and keep it moist in the shade, and within a month or so, these will start to germinate. The roots will come down first and then the shoots will come up.
Why is it that there are so many different hybrids of camellias?
A lot of breeding has gone into hybrids to give a different facet to the flowers. There are fragrant ones that have been produced, Sweet Emily Kate, WYNNE RAYNER, which is a Saluanensis hybrid, which is a big, blousy flower with a really iridescent flower on it. And this one here, one of my favorites, NICKY Crisp, it's absolutely covered with flower. It's hybridized with a species Camellia that produces lots of buds, so we get lots and lots of flowers.
While the camellia may still be best known for brightening a southern state's winter, it's great to know these colour-filled cultivars thrive in warmer climes. And with so many hybrids available, there's guaranteed to be a camellia for you wherever you garden.